What is up, guys? I'm back finally. Took a little break from recording and like all of Paladins basically after HRX. First off, now that I'm back, I'd like to say thank you for everyone that was supporting my team and I throughout HRX. Even while I was gone for I don't know how many weeks. I really appreciate it. It means the world to me. But it was really an amazing event. It was so much fun to be there and to win the thing was it's honestly amazing. But let's get into the video. We're actually played a little bit of Ash today, so I'm going to go ahead and go over the loadouts and everything. First, since Ash can use several legendaries, she can use basically all of them. Rally here is probably my least favorite out of the three, but I do like Slug Shot, Battering Ram, and Fortress Breaker. They all give her different utilities. Battering Ram lets her be more aggressive. Fortress Breaker allows her to live on point a little more and provide more shielding for her team. And Slug Shot provides a little bit more damage and that ranged poke that makes her really, really good. Looking at my loadouts here, I have a few. These two right here are both for Big Shield. Big Shield's Fortress Breaker. I'm just going to call it Big Shield throughout the video. The main important part of this kit is that you get Siege Engine 5 and Ramparts 4. If you notice that you don't really care for Resil, you can go ahead and drop this down and put this at 5 points just to make your shield rotations a bit easier. That 0.5 seconds actually helps a ton, so that's something that you can look to do. I also like just increasing the duration of the Siege Shield engine. It is an 8k shield, so at times it might not break, so having that 0.5 seconds might be a difference maker. And then just an HP as a filler card. Basically what you look to do with this is you put the shield down. Once it goes down, you right click on literally anything. It could be like an Anara totem, it could be an Anara wall, it could be a player, it could be a clone. That will basically give you 5 seconds off your shield. Which means you'll look to get your shield back pretty much instantly if you have 2 seconds off. I think there's like a 1 second downtime on it, but overall it's really, really good to have that constant shield up. The one downside of it is like once you do put the shield down, if the enemy team is really aggressive, you can kind of just walk past it, and it makes the shield a lot less effective. And then after that, she really doesn't have too much. She doesn't have like the 90% damage reduction that Battering Ram gives you, or the poke to stay further away. This is just another deck that I use, which basically doesn't have the result, just has more HP and more CDR for the shield. For this video, though, we actually choose either between Battering Ram and Slug Shot. We actually go with Slug Shot, but there are pretty big differences in the decks between the two. Looking at this one, this is more of my Battering Ram deck with 3 points in Vanguard, 5 points in Gatecrasher, which are basically the main two. Personally, I love running CC5, especially on Ash. It's really important that you don't get CC'd. It's actually your biggest weakness. Especially in her ult. Her ult she can get knocked out of by like any knockback. So having this at 70% basically negates that, making sure you almost never get knocked out of it. I think one of the bigger ones that makes it harder is definitely Torvolt. So if you get Torvolted out of it, I think that's the hardest one, but 70% should help with that a little bit. I do like having max CD and DR on the dash. You're going to be wanting to use this to go in, get out a lot, so having that extra DR after helps you kind of make that easier to rotate in and out and make sure you stay alive. Living is really important, and it's especially a lot harder when you're trying to be aggressive and make space for your team. So that's why I prefer Vanguard over any other card. If not, you could replace it out for like Ramparts as a 1-point card and just increase your HP. That's something I've also done before. I do like having that extra DR though. It's really nice. So this is my Battering Ram deck. But we do go with Slug Shot, and Slug Shot I run 2 decks. I either run this deck, which has more Gatecrasher, which lets you dash around more and be a little more mobile with less percussion. Percussion's a really good card for Slug Shot. I actually run this a lot. Tolki was the one that showed me about this. But having percussion on Slug Shot's really nice for when you get engaged on. Your main trait is being able to have that ranged poke from Slug Shot that it gives you. To being able to knock people away and make sure you're able to get your dash off since you don't have that 90% DR is really, really important since it's your only escape. But I did use this deck for the video. Pretty standard loadout. It's 5 points in CC reduction, as I like so much. 2 points in Gatecrasher. Since I am Slug Shot, I'm not looking to be as aggressive, so I don't value this as high. I actually prefer having Percussion 4, so I actually drop a point in Gatecrasher for it. And then a little bit extra HP, so you can trade a little bit better versus DPS and other tanks. It's a pretty standard loadout. Just 1 point in shield reduction. I like having my cooldowns up as much as possible, so that's why I favored these cards over, War Machine 1, which I actually think is really bad. If you're gonna run War Machine, you should probably put more points into it. 1 pointer, it's not that great. Even like just 2 or 3 is better than 1. 1's not that great. that's my loadout for Ashe. After that, we should probably just get into the game, but I do want to say that I'm probably going to be making a tier list for patch 1.7, which is the HRX patch. I know we're on 1.8 and almost going to 1.9, but 1.8 didn't really change too much to tanks, and I rather do an esports patch on 1.7, kind of talk about the HRX and how I felt about the tanks. And this way, if you guys are watching those games and HRX, you can kind of like follow along and understand the meta a little bit better. If not, there's a chance that I just do it on 1.8, but there's really no difference. They didn't change any tanks, so I'll probably just do it on 1.7. Lastly, I do stream sometimes on my Twitch. I will actually have it in the description below if you guys want to check that out, and with my Twitter. Other than that, thank you. If you guys want to like the video and drop a sub, I appreciate it greatly, and we can get on to the gameplay. What's up, guys? Playing some Ashe here on Serpent Beach. Their comp's a triple DPS comp. They don't have a second tank. This is honestly, I'm looking to go 2 different options here, either Battering Ram or Slug Shot. Not really sure yet. Battering Ram lets us play more aggressive, but lose out on range, and it does give us that valuable blast damage, which we have a Willow for our blast damage, so it's actually not as important. So I'm actually thinking about going Slug Shot here. Slug Shot's a bit more passive, but you get, more damage in return for it. I'm gonna go ahead and go this deck. This deck gives me Percussion 4, which I actually really like. It kind of lets you peel for yourself and get your dash off. Especially since you're not running Battering Ram, you're kind of squishier and you're easier to engage on once you commit. We're just gonna go ahead and get caught one here. We want to be able to kill their squishies, not let them get full healing from the Damba. We're just gonna go right side here and take the high ground and see if we can poke people off. We do have to be careful with that Grumpy Bomb. The Ashe's big shield, which is interesting. That drops and it's to poke her out. Just gonna take their high ground now, kind of like concave around point. Make sure they can't stand on point freely. Poke out the support so she can heal. I'm gonna drop, see if I can actually kill this guy. He's 1. If I didn't have to reload that, would have been a nice kill. Domino Slither, BK's in here. I'm just gonna commit, because I don't want to get stunned by the Grumpy. Should be able to get out of this. No, I'm dead. That's okay. We got the trade and we should be able to get point. The tank has no shield, and hopefully if our Willow lives, we should be able to get it. Looks like we're gonna get it. We're out trading them. And I'm already spawning, so I'm on my way back.
Overtime.
Since our Khan's already on cap, I'm just gonna go ahead and look to push around, see if I can get on the support, stop him from healing the tank. I almost have my ult too, so I can look to be aggressive soon. Oh, they're actually touching again. We don't have to chase this Andro. Nice. We have my ult for the push now too, which I really like Ashe's ult for this push, is because you're allowed to like ult up onto the high ground, which is like honestly the most difficult part of this map, is pushing and defending. You have like a really hard fight because you have to take away the high ground from the defenders, which is why sometimes this map can be a pain to push on. Just gonna poke out the support. Andrew, I don't want them playing for free. I'm gonna free bash, see if I can get her further away from the team. To kill her, we should be able to push on. We are getting guard time during this, except for when she does that. So I'm gonna go ahead and ult up here. Keeping poke at Andro. Should be able to kill him. Nice. I'm gonna go ahead and dash over here, see if we can get on their Damba. I feel for my team. Nice. Should be able to get back on a high ground here using the Oasis stairs, which are the stairs to my left. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can get this Ashe off Vex. Don't want Vex to take too much damage here. It's important to peel for your healer. Dash has no shield and no dash, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put under. Should be able to get this. It's just Andrew and Damba up right now. Their Ashe is the first one to spawn, so I'm actually gonna have to try and stop it from touching.
That's 5 in a row.
See if we can actually dash off. Didn't get the touch, luckily. She came out the left side too. Yeah, being able to get that high ground away and force them out of it. Luckily we were staggering them pretty hard. I think their BK died and I think their Ashe was dying when I ulted up on top. But ulting up there like let me push the Damba and just not let him free heal up there. Otherwise that Ashe would have been getting healing the entire time and I wouldn't be able to pressure him out as well. But I almost have my ult again, which is really good. You always kind of want to have your ult for the mid. It's kind of unlucky that I didn't get it, but it's not the worst thing ever. I have enough for another card, so I'm actually just going to go ahead and get Reju. I'm going to save the rest of my cards for COT 3. COT 3 is pretty important for Ashe since she does have like a low amount of damage.
2, 1.
Slug Shot does kind of help with that with the range and you know the increased 400 damage all the time instead of poking out people for like 230. We do have to be careful with this BK ult. I'm going to go ahead and shield and just see if we can tank it. I messed up there. Should be getting killed for free. I'm just gonna go ahead and dash across. I know I help us have my ult, and I just want to be aggressive. Gonna see if I can chase their Damba here. I'm actually just gonna go get Cap. He's already full healed, and I don't really want to push that. They have spawners up. I think their BK was spawning, so I really don't want to get a 2v1 even though I have my ult. Just wasn't worth my time. You just reset and get the high ground for my DPS. That's just charging a point. I think she has ult. She's playing like really aggressive. I noticed they're all on point right now. I'm just gonna see if I can kill this buck really fast and then rotate and kill the Damba. There's someone knotted up there. Just gonna go ahead and ult up there. I should have, you know what? Should have right clicked before shooting. I think Andrew's on the high ground somewhere too. Ulting up here is really good for me. I get to hold it, and it'll actually be not that bad. With RuBBu up here, I should be able to like keep the high ground. Not take too much damage. I'm actually on the drop. He doesn't have ult, so he can't save me. Yeah, oh, that's a great ult. Good ult. If you're con and you see an Ashe ult like that, just go ahead and ult her out. Try and throw her off the map. Spear down 2. I should be able to commit to this guy. Unless the buck hits me. In this case, I might have to get out. My con is still alive, so I can probably go help him. That's okay. Definitely should have left. I kind of got baited by my con. I thought he was going to be able to win that, but there's too much healing and the buck came back. So that's honestly kind of my fault. I wasn't looking at their spawners and seeing who was up. I knew I had killed the buck like a while back ago, which is definitely my fault. I should have been able to get out there and regroup with my team. The biggest part about that is I fed an 18 streak, which means whoever killed me, which I think it was a buck, probably has ult again, which is not the worst case scenario. Buck ult's not that great. He's right under me. They're all flanking.
Enemy behind us.
I'm not really sure what's happening, so I'm just gonna go ahead. I feel like we got all the flankers down, so now we can start pushing in. We have a concave on the Ashe, so I'm gonna go ahead and try and commit to her. Make sure we can kill her. I almost have my ult too, so I can get back on high ground. I need to get this BK off high ground, which is spamming us out. I don't really want to ult for that though, to get him off. I'll ult for that though. Oh, it's gonna stun my dash. Feels bad, dude. I should have waited till after. He's gonna look for the Andro. I think he's under, which means I can't really get to him. Alright, that's a waste of a fear. He just completely wasted that fear for no reason, which is really good for us. I did waste my ult thinking we were gonna push that in. That's okay. I think we've been doing pretty well on the mids regardless of my ult. I haven't really needed to like use it. I haven't been forced to use it either, so not the biggest worry. They don't have Andro ult, they don't have BK ult, they don't have, I believe they might have Ashe ult. I haven't heard that one in a while, but I'm assuming they have Buck and no Damba. It's not bad. Their ults are kind of worse than ours. We have Con ult and Willow ult. The only one that can really do with the Willow is the Andro, but if I'm pressuring him out, our Willow should get a free ult. Same with our Leon. Leon's also a hit scan, which is really good against the Andro. kind of unfortunate that we didn't push that in, but it's okay.
3, 2, 1.
I think this time we don't have our ult, so it's gonna be a little harder to get in. I'm gonna look to poke a little more before I engage, see what where everyone's going. Like I know BK's here. I see 3 here, 4 here. Okay, and just 1 king for sure. Just gonna go ahead and see if catch him out. We can kill their Ashe here. Use their dash. Oh, she fell off the high ground too. She's killable. Got to play around our shield there. That was close. I actually messed up there by dashing when he hit his dash. So just gonna go ahead and right click and move him back. Just gonna peel. I do have to dash out. I'm just gonna dash behind the elbow. Make sure I stay alive. Get the claw off me. Get my passive peel going. There's someone gonna be on my right. Pretty sure. I think I hear the DK at the down button. Just gonna go ahead and dash here. I have my ult in like 10%, so I believe I can get it. We should be able to get this though. I don't think it matters what happens. Nice. That was a good game. Slug Shot was actually really good there. I was able to poke out people on high ground, and I really like Ashe ult on that map actually. Just using it to get on the high ground is really, really good for us. It allows you to swing the fights much more. That way, you know, you're up there holding the high ground rather than having like an intro dive off the high ground onto your backline. It's much harder to deal with. I really like percussion 3 when I use or percussion 3-4 when I use Slug Shot, just because your best strength is definitely your overall like your range. So being able to like keep that range and keep tanks off you, even though they do have like CC5, percussion 4 kind of just helps with that. Even if they're running a lower tier rank of it, it'll be much easier to deal with. Overall, it was a really, really good game for Slug Shot though. Nobody got Haven, so my damage was really good. I was able to pressure out their backline really well since they didn't have a second tank. It made my life a lot easier. But thanks for watching, guys.